children that Africa is not lost. Africa is not only AIDS, only war. There are a hope. There is a hope. And we must be, to stand up and believe in this dignity that God gives us. We are one family. Thank you very much. And si quotidien pour nous retrouver la main dans la main, mettons dans nos cœurs de la joie pour demain que nous donnerons à tous nos amis. Main, main, main dans la main, 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 main dans la main, 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 main dans la main, 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 main dans la main. I would like to let Aline to tell her story. And this message, I want that Aline tell it to my brother and sister who come from Africa. It will show you how we can fight in dignity. Yeah.
Okay, so she always does this to me. She's supposed to talk and then she asks me to talk, and it was not. So my name is Aline, and I don't live in Burundi, and I was not there when the war started. I left in '89. I was 29 years old. It's always difficult. Why are you doing this to me? When I left, I thought I would never go back. I thought I would never go back, actually. I didn't come in a boat. I didn't come as a refugee. I came in a legal way. I was married. No needs, I can say. But I always wanted to leave my country because actually my country forgot about me. My country never thought about me. So I think somewhere I was waiting the day I can leave that country that doesn't like me, maybe. When I was young, Burundi, as Maggie said, is a small country in East Africa, and it was a kingdom for, we can trace 500 years of kingdom. And my grandfather was the king of Burundi. And when I was young, I remember, he was just my grandfather. For me, it was nothing special. I just remember sitting on his lap, and we had like musicians, people coming to dance. There were so many people. I remember going to school with my older sisters. They were going at school in a Cadillac. Everything was amazing, and and I thought it was normal. And I think I saw my grandmother once crying, the king, but she was crying. I was only 6 years old, and you can feel there's something wrong, but I didn't know. It's the only one I never ever saw her crying. And one day, someone came and we all moved. In another house, there were militaries. It was just another house. It was a big house. And I didn't see my father for a few years. I didn't know what was wrong. I don't know. Then we went to visit him. And he was in another place. My mother used to organize. We all go to visit him. And we found him living with other people. He was happy. We were happy to see him. And he said he was singing. He has a choir and whatever. But the reality was that the kingdom was, when I saw my grandmother die the first time, they had killed her son. The prince, it's a prince, he fight for independence. They had killed him. But we never knew that. I learned that very late when I was older. When we went to visit my father, he was in jail. But my mother never told me he was in jail. We thought we were just going to visit him. I think he spent 3 years in jail and then came out. And for a few years, and after a while, we moved again in another house, a smaller house, and a smaller house again. But when my father was not there, when my grandfather was not there anymore, when the uncles were killed, nobody ever told us there was something bad. We never really realized there was something different. I can remember sometimes we didn't have food, but we were happy. I don't know how, but we were happy. And I remember seeing my grandmother making like donuts to sell on the market, and it was so fun. You know, we went and they were hiding them, and I remember as a kid going and take those donuts and eat them. It was so fun. We didn't realize they were trying to keep us going. And they took everything. We had everything, and from one day to another we lost everything. But the main thing, our mothers never told us anyone did something wrong. I can tell you, I learned about that with the others by hearing other people saying, how about these politicians were with us? I never realized they were bad. So I never hate anyone. I don't hate anyone. I knew just because they took everything, and I saw my mother suffering. When I grew up, in schools, they didn't want our family to go back to school because, you know, you don't just raise 500 years of history. People had respect for that family. I can see, even now when I go back, I know they have that respect. It's nothing about me. I feel just I'm Burundian, but I know people they have done. So you can't raise that. But in schools, they were still trying to put all the family kids out of schools just to make sure they will never come back. So of course, the first thing I wanted to finish school and go out and be able to get some money. So I did the quickest school I could do was to a secretary, and it was very difficult. I don't know how many times teachers tried to put me out, and I fight because I thought it's my right to go and finish my school. So I finished my school, starting to work, and then helped my mother, as I always saw my family does. They always help each other. So we fight. And I saw my mother every day in my life fighting to try to get a piece of land that belongs to her father. She never got it. We still never get it. But they never taught us to wait for that. They taught us we have to do what we need to do our lives, to keep each other, help each other, and try to go on. Even today when I go to Burundi, I cannot go to fight for that land when I see this everybody else, you know, waiting. They cannot eat, they cannot go to the doctors, they cannot. And I went back just because I've met Maggie, and I thought this is someone who understood that it's not about the neighbors, it's about the politician, what they're doing, we have to pay for that, but nobody else will come and help us. We have to help ourselves. So that's why I'm going back, because I really believe we have to do it ourselves. We will never go, it's my country, nobody can take it away from me. When I left, I thought, now I'm going to start a life. I was telling earlier some of you, and I said, you know, after the war starting, I think I was 10 years out of Burundi, I had everything, but I can tell you when I could listen to the radio, and they were talking about Burundi, I was dreaming that they were cutting my arms, I could not sleep. I was away. I could not sleep. I sleep much better when I have the chance to go back and try to do whatever I can do. That's really. And when I came here, I didn't came for any money to take any money. I just came because I just needed life like everybody else. But I found many people, very nice people. They give me a chance to live here, but also I have this chance to go back to my country, and it's the most important thing. So it's the only thing I can say.
So, you see that in every situation, we have enough love in our heart, enough energies to rebuild again. So, if you have a question, here. I want to tell you that the most beautiful thing I like in Christianism is forgiveness. One day, every Sunday, I go in jail to celebrate the Mass with prisoner. Even those who are not Christian, I visit them because I believe that we have one religion, love. And when I was giving some help to the prisoner, one person called me, and I went to see him. Then I recognized that he was the killer of my 3 aunts, because he burned them in the house.